Good afternoon, girls and boys. It's Julie coming to you from the Amherst branch of the Cumberland Public Libraries, and it's time to do another craft. I'm so excited. Easter is coming very quickly, and I thought I would show you two different ways to color eggs with things that you probably already have at home. So for this first one, what you're going to need is some eggs, and I pre-cooked these eggs. These eggs are hard-boiled. You could do it with raw eggs as well, but if they drop, they're going to make an awful mess. So I like to hard-boil mine. Some people like to put a little pinhole in the end of it and blow the egg out and just use the empty shell. And if that's the way you prefer to do it, you can do that as well. But I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do this. It is a little bit messy, so you should probably have something on your table, or on a beautiful day, you could do it outside. So you need some eggs, you need some shaving cream, and you need some food coloring in any colors you like. That's all you need, is 3 different things. You need a tray to mix it up in, and you need either a spoon or a pair of tongs to pick up the eggs, because the eggs are going to get a little bit slimy and they're going to be a little difficult to pick up. So first of all, we're going to take the shaving cream, and any kind of shaving cream works. This is just stuff I picked up at Dollarama. And we're going to put it in, oh, it helps if I take off the lid. There we go. We're going to put it in the tray. And it kind of looks like whipped cream, but it doesn't taste like whipped cream. It smells very soapy, so it's not something that you would want to taste. So when you're doing this one, be careful not to lick your fingers, because it's not going to taste very good at all. So I'm just going to get some wipes. So now we have white shaving cream and we have white eggs. Is that going to be very good? No, that's not going to be colorful at all. So here's where the food coloring comes in. And you can use gloves if you're doing this, because the food coloring tends to be a little bit messy. So we're just going to take the food coloring and we're going to drop it into the pan, just in different spots. 1 drop here, 1 drop there. Alrighty, so we've got some blue, and this is a neon green, but it looks green when it starts out, but when you mix it up, it kind of looks a little yellow. So we're going to add some of that. And when these eggs are finished, they're going to look like they've been tie-dyed. It's really cool how they turn out. So get some purple, although the lid shows pink. And we're going to do some green, some darker green. Okay, so if you look at the 2 greens, one is dark green and one is more of a yellowy limey green. And the last color we're going to use is some red. And we're going to just give it a little shake. Okay, now if you put the eggs in here, they're not going to seem so colorful, because the color's not spread around. It's just all in different spots. So we're going to take somewhere in here. I have a popsicle stick, and I'm just going to use this for stirring. And you don't have to stir it up a lot. What you're going to do is just move the colors around. So you're going to just go in and out. You don't want to stir it like you're cooking something, because that's just going to make all the colors blend together, and then you're not going to see the different colors. So we're just going to swirl it around like this until we see lots of color mixed in with the white, because the white's not going to show up on the eggs, but the color is going to show up beautifully. So that's what it looks like when we've got it all swirled around. Then we're going to take one of our eggs, and we're just going to put the egg gently into the shaving cream, and then we're going to roll it. Oh, I'm going to use my fingers. I thought maybe I could keep my fingers clean, but I don't think that's going to work. So I'm just going to roll it. It gets everywhere. It smells really good. Shaving cream smells wonderful. So once you've got your egg all completely covered in shaving cream, you're going to set it over there out of the way. And then you're going to take another one. And I have 6 eggs, and I've got 2 different activities, so I'm going to do 3 in each activity. So that one's got lots of blue in it. I'm going to start this one over here in the green and see what colors we can pick up over here. Ooh, this one's kind of cool. Look at that. Can you You see how those colors are coming in there? I see lots of green and I see purple. And the more you roll your egg around, the more the colors are going to blend together. So I'm going to put that one in there. And I'm going to do one more right here in this spot. Also, the more color that you add to your shaving cream, the darker your eggs are going to be. If you just add a little bit of color, the eggs are going to come out light. If you add a little bit more, or if you add more, the eggs are going to come out a little bit darker. So once you get the eggs like that, you're going to leave the eggs sitting in the colored shaving cream for about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's hard because I know you want to wipe them off right away and see what they're going to look like, but we actually have to leave them for 10 to 15 minutes. So what I thought I would do is make some up yesterday so I can show you what the finished product is going to look like. So once they've sat for 15 minutes, you're going to take the egg and you're going to take a wipe or a piece of paper towel or something, and you're going to wipe all of the shaving cream off. The magic thing is when the shaving cream disappears, the color doesn't. So the eggshell underneath is going to look like, it's going to look like this. These are some eggs that I did yesterday. This one had a lot of yellow in it. So now there's no shaving cream on these. They're all clean and dry. I just wiped off the shaving cream, and look at the beautiful colors that it's left behind on the eggs. This one's got lots of pink in it and some light blue, and you can still see a little bit of the white from the original eggshell, and that's okay too. Now, I didn't leave these ones in very long. Ooh, I dropped this one, had a little bit of a hole in it. It looks like something's trying to come out. Maybe it's a dinosaur egg and there's a rainbow colored dinosaur going to come out of there. That'd be really cool. So I didn't leave these in very long, so my colors are not super dark. If you want your colors to be darker, leave them in the shaving cream a little bit longer so that the color can get through all the shaving cream and cover up the egg. And that's how you make those tie-dyed Easter eggs. That's so quick and easy. A little bit of shaving cream, a little bit of color, and you are all set to go. But I have another one that I wanted to show you too that is just as easy. And it has, for this one, you're not going to need the shaving cream. You're going to need a bottle of water. You're going to need a spray bottle of water, actually. You're going to need a, what is that stuff called? That food coloring. I was trying to say shaving cream again. So you're going to need a spray bottle or a little bit of water and an egg medicine dropper will do the same thing. And you need some paper towels. So I'm going to just tuck these ones out of the way for a minute so you can see what I'm going to do with the next one. So with this one, you're going to take paper towel or Kleenex or napkins. Actually, Kleenex probably isn't thick enough. Paper towel or napkins will work better. And you're going to need some elastics. All right, so I've got some elastics, and you're going to take one white egg, and you're going to wrap it in the paper towel, and you're going to wrap it up pretty snug because you want the color to be able to get through to the egg. So you're going to wrap it in the paper towel, then you're going to take one of your elastics, and you're going to put it around there so the paper towel can't come off. All right, look at that. We have an egg in a blanket, it looks like. All right, so then we have another one. And what I did with the paper towel, I'll show you in just a second. I took one piece of normal size paper towel and I just cut it in half to make it a little bit smaller because we didn't need too much paper around the egg. We just need enough paper to soak up some of the color. So let's see. This one is a little messier. I'm actually going to put gloves on before I start this one, and you'll see why in a minute because it tends to get really messy. So there's another egg in a blanket. And, all right. Woo, I just about dropped that egg. All right, so we're going to take a sheet of paper towel. Ooh, that egg is trying to roll off of there. And where did my scissors go? There they are. I have too much stuff here. All right. So there's my scissors. I'm going to just take the sheet of paper towel and I'm going to cut it right in half, just like this. And you will notice on each paper towel or napkin that you use, there's a different pattern printed into the paper towel. And we did some coloring back in the summer with this. We did some marker colors. I want to show you it. That's a really important thing to remember because it's going to have an impact. That means it's going to do something in our coloring experiment. So there is our third egg, and I'm just going to twist it a little bit, and I'm going to put my elastic on it. Then I'm going to put my gloves on because we're going to get messy. So this one you might need a little bit of adult help with. So there we go. So we have 3 eggs in blankets. So I'm going to put that one aside, and then I'm going to put my gloves on. And you can use rubber gloves like this. You can use the disposable rubber gloves if you have those at home. Or you can just use your bare hands because you know what? It's only food coloring and it is going to wash off. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to take the lids off the colors because I find once I get the gloves on, it's hard to do the little stuff like pulling off a lid. So I'm going to take all of those off. And we're going to use these colors again the same way as we did before, except we're not going to use shaving cream this time. We're just going to use a paper towel, some food coloring, and some water. And these ones make really cool patterns too. All right, so I've got my gloves on. So I need another one of my trays. I'm just going to set those eggs there. Actually, Greg, can you set those over on the other table just so I don't knock them off? All right, so we're going to take our first egg, and we're going to take a bottle of food coloring, any color you like, and you're just going to make little tiny drops. You're not going to squeeze a whole lot on. You're just going to do a little drop. See how it works? Because on the paper, the little drop spreads and it becomes a bigger drop. And the more colors you use, the more colorful your egg is going to be. Ooh, that purple's making big spots. And the really cool thing about this is if the colors combine, like you know, red and blue together make purple. So if you start with one color and then another color sneaks over on top of it, you're going to end up with a different color. Okay, so we're getting low on our red. Okay, so that's what I've got. I have a little egg wrapped in paper and it's kind of got polka dots, but that doesn't look like it's going to color the whole egg. So this is where the water comes in, and you just need a very little bit of water. Last week for March break, we did some Sharpie tiles, and some of you might have gotten those kits, and there was a little plastic pipette that you use to put your alcohol on your eggs. This is the same idea here. We're going to use the water bottle, but you could use the pipette if you still have that at home. And the neat thing is you could actually do these eggs the same way. You could take a Sharpie marker, color the egg with marker, and then use the pipette and some water, and it's going to do the same idea as what this is going to do. So now I'm going to take my egg and I'm just going to spray it lightly, because you don't need too much water. You just need a little bit of water to help the color spread. So if you see wherever the water is touching, the color is spreading around. Now on the back here, I noticed I've still got a white spot there. So I'm going to put a little bit more purple. Oops. It's hard to do this with gloves on. The gloves are big on my fingers. All right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of that. And then I'm just going to take the whole egg and I'm just going to hold it in my hand for a minute. I'm going to make sure that all of that color is able to get onto the egg. So you want to make sure that the paper is wet enough that the color goes through the paper and onto the eggshell. And that's what it's going to look like at first. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to take a second one and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to add some dots. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now, my gloves have color on them from the last egg, so it's actually kind of spreading some of the color to this egg. So if you're wanting to do very specific colors on your eggs, you might want to clean your gloves in between just to make sure that you don't have some splashback or some other colors from the last egg. So you could do eggs in 2 colors, you could do eggs in 4 colors, you could do all of the colors of the food coloring that you have at home. You can do it any way you want. These are your eggs, and as I always tell you guys, this is your craft, and you can do it your way, even though you see me doing it a different way. So I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more red out of this jar. Oh, there we go. Ooh, I squeezed it and a lot of red came out, but I think that might be the last of the red. So I'm going to put a little bit more of this light green here, and then we're going to spray it with water and see what happens. So there it is with all the different colored polka dots on it. And again, I'm just going to spray it with water. Can you see that? You see what's happening with the colors? They're all spreading together. I love these. I think these turn out so beautiful. And again, the longer you leave the paper on this, for these ones, it's a good idea to let the paper completely dry, because if you try and take the paper off when it's wet, it's just going to tear and you're not going to get quite the same effect from it. This one's going to have a lot of purple in it because I put a lot of water in it. So I have one more, and I'm going to do this one all in purple and green just to see what it looks like. Now there's a little bit of orange on this one because the red and yellow that I had on my gloves, oops, have joined together and they've made some orange. So I'm just going to add some more green, a little drop here. All right, now I have it. And it's okay if some of the color doesn't get into the spot. If you have a spot on your egg that is white, that's fine. It looks really cool too. I'm going to show you something really neat when I take what happens when you take the paper off. So again, just a little bit of color. Ooh. And then, all right, you're going to hold it for a second so all the color has a chance to get through to the eggs. And this takes about an hour, I think, for the paper to completely dry. It depends on how quickly you remove. It depends on where you put the eggs, and how dark it is depends on how quickly you remove it. So we're just going to leave that like that. We're going to set these aside, and I'm going to show you the ones that I made yesterday because they're exactly the same things. They're just dry now, so you'll get to see what the finished one looks like. I really like these ones. The finished ones look really cool. Okay, I'm going to take these gloves off because I find it hard to do stuff with them on. They stick to my fingers. Okay. Okay, so these are the eggs that I made yesterday, and I just used the same color. Now you'll notice the color looks really dark on there. When you take the paper off, the colors change a little bit. And if you look at this egg, you can see there's still some white spots on it. But do you see that there's little tiny white polka dots all over these eggs? That is because the napkins that I used yesterday had a little polka dot pattern in them, and the pattern was left on the eggs. So these ones look really light. They look really yummy. Now, these eggs you could actually eat because they're boiled eggs and they only have food coloring on them. These eggs that we covered with the shaving cream, you couldn't eat those because if the shaving cream happened to get through the shell, it would not taste very good and it would make you sick. But these ones, you could do a beautiful display on your table with all the different colors on it. And then if you wanted to have them for Easter breakfast, you could do that too. So I wonder, I'm just going to take one of these off and show you what it's going to look like with this pattern. I don't know if it's going to work or not because it's still wet, but this paper towel had a different pattern on it. So, oh, this one's kind of cool too. Now, yesterday when we looked at these, Denise thought they looked like lizard eggs. It looked like lizard skin. So this is what the ones look like today that I made, but they're not dry. So I'm going to have to be very careful to put that down somewhere where it will have an opportunity to dry so that the colors will set. So if you are looking for a quick and easy way to decorate your table for Easter, you can make these eggs at home. They are very quick to do. There's no cooking involved other than you should probably boil them up beforehand, but look how beautiful they look. You could do different things. You could do what I said with the Sharpie tiles. You could take the Sharpie markers and use a little bit of alcohol and you would get the same effect from that. The colors would run all together, but you wouldn't have these really cool patterns like you get from using the paper towel or napkins. So that's 2 quick and easy ways to color your eggs. I would love to hear what you guys do at home. What different activities do you use to color your eggs at home? Share some pictures in the comments below. I would love to see them. If you want to share those with your friends, that's awesome because everybody always likes to get new ideas. And I just want to say happy Easter to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.